Hello, my name is Logan Rowe. I'm a student PTA from Shawnee State University. Can I get your full name and date of birth?
Lindsay Shoblock, December 5th, 1993.
All right, Lindsay. So it says here that you have some right anterior knee pain. So right here, was there anything to cause that?
Not really. I got hit in the knee when I was playing softball about 4 months ago, but I haven't really had any problems since then until like just recently, about 4 weeks ago.
Okay, so definitely nothing recent at all. How does it feel at rest?
Pretty much fine.
So on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being no pain at all, 10 being the worst pain, you'd say?
I'd say 0 out of 10 not doing anything, and then about a 5 out of 10 when I'm actually like walking around.
Okay, so it definitely gets worse as you go on. So for our treatment today, we will be focusing on your knee a lot, of course. We'll be focusing on trying to get you away from being so knock-kneed. So what I'm going to do there is, in some of the exercises and stretches that we'll do, I'll put my hand on the outside of your knee to try and get you to push out. And I'm also going to push on your foot when we do some of our strengthening exercises.
Okay.
So I'm going to try and normalize how you walk and everything. It should help your gait and decrease a lot of pain. Also, to begin with, just to go through the treatment real quick, we're going to do strain counter strain, which I'm just going to have you lay back. I'm going to prop this chair up onto the table, and I'm just going to have your knee back like this, and it should feel pretty all right. I think I want to feel for some tightness around your hip area to try and see if that's what we should do. After that, we're going to do some patellar glides, try and move your kneecap around. We'll do some simple stretching. We're going to do some strengthening for your hip and your glutes. And then after that, we're going to finish off the treatment with some electrical stimulation and ice. And electrical stimulation, or ESIM, isn't bad or anything. It won't hurt you. It should feel pretty nice. Depending on whether or not you can get your pants all the way up, we'll just put ice on your knee. So for ESIM, do you have any type of metal around your knee? Do you have a pacemaker?
Nope.
Do you have any recent history of cancer or active cancer?
Nope.
All right, so, and no recent wounds? Okay, so it looks like we should be good. Also, you aren't pregnant or anything?
Nope.
Okay, so it looks like we're good to go. So first off, we definitely want to see if the treatment is working or not. So I'm going to measure your hip flexion range of motion. So I need you to just lay back.
Okay.
And I'm not going to assist you at all. You're just kind of raise your leg up and we'll see how far you go.
Okay.
So if you could, I'm going to place your hand down here so I can get a good angle. I have to feel for the right spot. So if you could, just raise your leg up. About right there. And I'm going to bend your knee a little bit and keep on going. So total hip flexion, you have about 124, 125. So we can go back down. We're going to try and get that all the way up to 140 to really see if you can increase gait pattern, because we need a lot of hip flexion in your gait for going up and down stairs and just a lot of different things. So now we're going to move on to strain counter strain. So I'm just going to prop this chair up. And I'm going to feel for some tenderness right there. So we're going to wait until this kind of goes down. You'll feel a decrease in tension. So I'll come back in about 2 or 3 minutes or so and see if it's decreased tension or not. And we're going to go like kind of play it by ear and feel it out over time. All right?
Okay.
Let me give you something you can smack the goniometer against the table if something goes wrong or you need me. I'll be right outside the door.
Okay.
So I'll be right back. All right, so it's been a couple minutes. It's been about 5 minutes, and there is a lot less tightness right through here. Do you feel like a decrease in tension? You feel like?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna get the chair up front of your leg. So it feels less tight right in through there?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Now the reason why I did that is because there's a muscle that kind of connects right into this kind of tendon that runs down your leg, and it actually attaches into your knee and can actually affect how your knee moves.
Okay.
So oddly enough, it actually helps. Now I'm just going to do some rhythmic rotation to try and loosen up the joint a little bit. It's just for relaxation. It should make you feel pretty good. Do you feel better having your other knee up like that?
Yeah, it's better on my back.
Now you can tell me if you have any apprehension with this, if you need to go a little bit slower or...
No, feels pretty relaxing.
Okay. So you were playing softball with your kid?
Yeah. He's pretty crazy. He hit me right in the knee with the ball.
Oh no. How old is he?
5.
5? Man. Is it true that life changes when you have a kid?
Oh yeah, definitely.
How's your hip feeling?
Pretty loose.
Pretty loose?
Yeah.
Alright, so I feel like it's about time to move on to some stretches. Does that sound alright?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So what we'll do from here is we'll just sit you up, and we're going to put this around your foot, and all you have to do is just pull like that. So the main thing is we're going to focus on your knee coming out here. I'm trying to put your foot like that. Try and keep straight back. Put a little pop in there. And we're just going to hold this for 20 seconds. Do you feel a good stretch or anything like
Yeah,
that?
I feel it right on the outside of my knee.
Oh, okay. Does it feel uncomfortable at all? Do you have any type of weird burning sensation and tingling?
No?
Okay, just checking. Sometimes people have tight nerves. Alright, you can let go. Sometimes you just have to check because some people have really tight nerves, and when you stretch them, they sometimes feel like they can vomit after stretching them too hard. So it's just something to check for.
Yeah.
And you can start again. So focusing on knee out, leg out. And kind of push your shoulders back a little bit more, like that. This is a pretty good stretch.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm really strengthening my back too.
You don't have to pull too hard on it if you feel like your back's working too hard. So just kind of sit there. It looks good, form's good. Your back might be a little bit weak, but that's not why you're here. So. Okay. Now this will also be part of your home exercise program.
Okay.
We're going to focus on stretching first, like for the first week. Then after that, we're going to get into some strengthening. The reason why is you want to focus on kind of mobility, like lengthening the muscles out and then strengthening them.
Okay.
It's more functional that way. It helps you out more. So we're going to focus more on stretching for the first week. So, and you can start up again. The main thing is kind of making sure that you're focusing on the knee and the foot and keeping your back up straight like that. If you have to, one good thing is to put your back up against a wall so you can feel yourself kind of against it, and then when you lean forward, you can feel yourself come off. So it kind of can give you a cue that you're kind of leaning forward and not keeping your back up straight. So just kind of put your shoulders back a little bit more, and you should feel a good curve right in the back, like that. And you can stop.
Whew.
All right, so now we're going to move on to heel slides.
Okay.
So you can also do this as back support, but for now, we're just going to place this underneath here. I'm just going to lift up.
Do I need this?
Yes. And heel slide pretty much refers that you are going to slide your heel. So you're going to use that, pull into hip flexion, and kind of do this. Now, when we do this, I don't want you to just jerk. I want you to focus on keeping your foot out like that. So, kind of what we call supination. So that way, your knee kind of forces out like this, and it keeps you from going in too hard.
Okay.
So, if you have to, go slow and kind of make sure that your leg is coming up straight as possible. And again, trying to keep your back up. Like if you have to, you can put something on the outside of your knee to try and press into. So that way you have kind of a tactile cue to go in. We're just going to do 3 sets of 10. And right now we're just trying to focus on proper movement. The form looks good.
That was 10.
Okay. So how does it feel?
Not too bad.
Do you feel like we could get more of a stretch if we put it up here a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I feel more of a stretch that way.
Okay, so that'll pull on your gastrocs a little bit. So if you pull down the muscle here, we'll pull down the muscles here too. So you get a better stretch all throughout the leg. You're doing really well about keeping your knee straight.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I have to think about it.
Yeah, I don't want to influence you as much as possible. Like, if you can do it on your own, then that's great. Like, that's definitely what you want to do. Because, I mean, everyone wants to be independent. And you're going to do this at your house, hopefully. So. Do you feel like it's getting more fluid as you do it?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's like, I don't know, it's easier every time I do it. I don't have to think about it so much.
Real quick, I'll write down some cues for your home exercise program while you do this last set.
Okay.
So. Do you have a surface that you can do this on at home, like maybe linoleum you can slide
yeah,
on?
my kitchen.
Okay, so carpet would be a little bit harder. You could try and do it barefoot, but since you're going to be walking around in shoes, it'd be better if you could do it with shoes on.
Okay.
Because you don't normally walk around barefoot. So we want to try and reinforce that pattern. So now we can go ahead and move on into some patellar glides before we can move into strengthening. So it shouldn't feel bad at all. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to isolate the patella like that and kind of glide it over this way. I want to try and reinforce a little bit of outward force, is what we call it, varus. So where you're so knock-kneed, I'm trying to get your kneecap to go out instead of in. So it's nothing crazy, just simple. Does it feel
It feels
bad?
pretty good.
It feels pretty good. Okay. I mean, I feel like you have good mobilization in your patella. It looks like it's just a tracking issue, but we'll keep on doing a little bit of mobilization anyways. I'm just going to do 2 more sets
Okay.
and just kind of see where we can take it, because we're about to move into strengthening exercises, and I just want to make sure that you have enough mobility for everything that you do. After this, though, we'll do some hip flexion real quick and see if you've gained any mobility. Hopefully you have. We want to really try and get that up to 140 without any of my help. So hopefully we can hit our goal today. Some things that we will be working on in the future, though, is getting your hip strength up, because your hip affects a lot of what you do with your leg. It all starts from here. So alright, so real quick, we'll measure hip flexion again. I'm just going to feel for the landmark real quick. So if you could, just bend the leg up. And the knee. And really try. So we have about 136, which is not bad. Definitely good for the first day. So, and put it back down. So, now, since you're on the table, I want you to get onto your left side.
Okay.
Does that feel comfortable? Do you feel like you need a pillow underneath?
Maybe under my hips.
Okay. So, if you could, yep. Awesome.
Yeah, that's better.
So what you're going to do is you're going to put your heels kind of together, and you're going to put your knee out like this.
Like that?
Yeah, just like that. And I want you to focus on kind of contracting right here. Like if you need to, just put your hand right here for a second and just kind of try and feel.
Yeah, I can feel it.
So we're just going to do 10 of those, 3 sets.
I think that's 8 right there. 10.
All right, that looks good. Like what you don't want to focus on, what you want to focus on is just rotating it out, not really doing this. So the more you keep your heel together, the more you're focusing on the muscle groups that I want you to try and strengthen.
Okay.
Try and keep your shoes just a little bit off, so that way you're not pushing off your shoe. Try and rotate the toe a little bit more, so kind of really open up the hip. Not much just like that, but if you can rotate a little bit more.
This is about all I can do.
Well, we're going to strengthen what we got there.
Starting to feel the burn.
Well, luckily enough, it's just going to be on your right side because your left side seems good
Okay.
from the eval that we had.
Nine and 10.
Okay, so that was the last one for that. So now we'll have you get off the table.
Okay.
And you can just come over here, and what you'll do is basically just put the leg out like that. You're going to try and keep your knee from bending too hard, and you want to keep your toes and foot straight.
Okay. Just like that.
A little bit straighter if you could. Almost focusing on putting your toe in a little bit.
Am I doing 3 sets of 10 of this too?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Simple and easy. So when you go up, you don't want to try and compensate, which is basically a lot of people have weakness back here. So if you don't feel like you can go up further without putting your toe out, just go as far as you can with just how you can keep your foot straight.
Okay. It is a workout.
You doing all right? You can do another side?
Yep.
Okay.
That should be good.
You're really doing well the whole time and everything. Like, I don't really have to make that many suggestions.
I'm a pro.
You're a pro. And now, you're basically doing the same thing with the leg except out to the side.
Okay.
One thing you want to focus on is not tilting over like this. So just kind of keep your back up straight like this, out to the side. And we're going to try and keep the toe in as much as possible. It really looks like you have good posture, like you're standing up straight. Your legs aren't turning in at all, so it's very good. Okay, so try not to go out too far.
Okay.
Because you kind of toe out a little bit. Of course, it's another kind of weak muscle group, so it's easy to get tired with it.
Yeah.
Okay. You start with the toe out a little bit, but it's okay.
10.
It's really just focusing on doing it right, and after a while, it'll get easier. So now we're going to focus on mini squats. So you're not going to do a full squat, you're going to come down to about right here. And what I'm really trying to focus on is making sure your knee stays out like this and your foot is in good contact with the ground. So if you could,
Want me to go ahead?
do you know how to do a squat?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
About like that?
Yeah. And so I want you to try and focus on pushing your knee out into my fingers and keeping your foot down on the ground where my hand is.
10.
It's not bad. You kind of have a little bit of a weak core, just a little bit, because I noticed that kind of sticking your butt out just a little bit. So if you could kind of focus on your back right here first, keep it straight, then go down, and try to keep a straight torso. But
I can't really like fall over.
okay, I'll help try and stabilize you down here as much as I can. Just go as far as you can without breaking that form. Because I'd rather do what you can right than try and have you do something else that's wrong. That's good. I can feel through your feet that your weight's going through your heels, so that's definitely good. Normally I have to tell people to not try and lean on their toes, but like for the most part you really do have good form. That's something that we'll focus on later on in the home exercise programs after we've increased your mobility a lot more. So
Okay.
it's something to look forward to. So just one last set and we'll be done. And we can move on to our cool down.
Okay.
All right, so if you want to come back over here. Do you feel like you need this pillow at all? Like underneath your butt at all?
Maybe under my hips, yeah.
Underneath your hips? Okay. Because you're going to be laying here for a little while. Let's see if,
what I should look at.
yeah. If you can, that's cool because it would help. But if not, that's fine. It's just going to be for about 15 minutes for the ease down. Those are some tight pants.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it definitely looks like we can get to it, which is good. So I have it set on interferential already. I'm just gonna get the pads really quick. Have you ever had this kind of treatment before?
Yeah, the chiropractor ones.
Really?
Yeah.
So you know it's like probably going to be more or a tingling sensation.
Mhm.
No like contraction of the muscle, like the muscle won't be moving around at all. I'll get another pad for this one. It seems a little bit loose. I'm going to put some of the wires up here. I'm going to make sure that the wires don't pull on the pads and have them come off. So that's why I'm doing that. Okay, so we are going to start it up. So you can tell me if you start feeling anything. It's probably not going to feel like anything for a while. And after this, I will go and get the ice pack.
It's starting to feel a little bit.
Starting to feel a little bit. How does it feel?
Just a tiny bit tingly. I can't feel it that strong.
Starting to feel a little bit more?
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah? A little bit
You
more?
can keep going.
As the treatment time goes on, if you feel like you need to turn it up anymore, don't hesitate to call me. I'll come in every 5 minutes or so. And again, you can slam the goniometer against the table.
You can turn it up a little bit more.
Okay.
A little more.
A little more? Right,
Mm-hmm. Right there.
right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now I can put the ice pack on you. Does that feel alright?
Oh, it feels good.
Alright, I'll come back in about 5 minutes or so. If you want me to turn it up at all, then that's what we'll do.
Okay.
It's going to be about 15 minutes, so just call me if you need anything.
Okay, thank you.
Alright, so it's been about 5 minutes. Would you want me to turn it up at all? Or?
Yeah, sure you can.
Okay, so I'll just turn it up a notch.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
That's good?
Yeah.
Okay, so leave you to your own device once again. Come back in 5 minutes,
Okay.
and we should be nearing the end of our treatment. Alright, so how's everything feeling?
Yeah.
Everything's good? Still feeling alright?
Mm-hmm.
Would you want me to crank it up anymore? Or
No, it's still good.
Still good? Alright, so we're about finished. We got about 5 more minutes left,
Okay.
and I'll come in when it's ready. Alright, so how's everything feeling?
Pretty good.
Pretty good?
Yeah.
Was the ice pack alright?
Oh yeah,
Not too
the ice
cold.
pack felt good.
Yeah. Get this off. Alright. So, how's the pain right now?
I'd say like a 0. It got a little bit more painful when we were doing the mini squats and stuff, but right now it feels fine.
If you have to rate it, like, how painful would you say?
During the mini squats or now?
Yeah, during the mini squats.
I'd say it was probably like a 5 or 4 then, and right now it's back down to like a 0.
So it wasn't anything that you're not used to?
No, that's about how it feels when I go up steps and stuff.
Okay, so we'll try and continue working on that. Hopefully it should get less painful over time, the more you stretch everything out, the more you strengthen.
Okay.
So we'll definitely work on that. Like I said, here are the exercises, just simple stretches, just 2 of them.
Okay.
Just the hamstring stretch and heel slides. Wrote on there, keep good posture. That also goes for your knee and your foot. You really want to focus on trying to get a good straight.
Okay.
Okay. So, if you don't have any questions, is everything good?
Yeah. I think we're good.
All right. I'll see you next week.
All right. Thank you.